Am I the asshole for refusing to attend my sister-in-law's wedding and asking my in-laws to get out of my house? I am 28, so my wife AITA, 28, and I were married a while ago. Both of us are of Indian descent, but we are born and brought up in the USA. It was a love marriage, although she had to exclusively ask for their approval. My in-laws pulled off a joke that could have ruined my career. I work for the government as an attorney. They thought it would be funny to tell a few of my neighbors that if they require anything from me, all they have to do is offer me money as I take bribes. Some of them even asked me about it to actually offer me bribes, and I was floored. I had to refute that completely, and accosted them. They said they were just joking, but I said that I don't care if it was a joke, and that I don't want anything to do with the family anymore except for AITA. My sister-in-law, Karthika, 29, even defended them. That was some time ago. I haven't talked to them ever since, and now AITA told me that they are coming over to make an announcement for Karthika's wedding and to invite us. I told them that I don't want them at my house, but she said that they had already left. They came over in the evening and invited us formally. I let them know that I will not be attending and asked them to get out of my house. They accused me of disrespecting them and said it's been a year and it's not good on you to hold a grudge for so long. I was having nothing of it, however, and in the end they had to leave the house. My wife's understanding of why I did that, although she said that it was uncalled for and that she wants to attend her sister's wedding, she doesn't want to leave without me. So am I the asshole here?
Am I the asshole for yelling at my mother for allowing my sister to keep and raise her baby? I am 21 and have an older sister, Sarah, 25, who has Down syndrome. Her mental age is around 8 years old and she lives with our mom. She is the kindest person I know and I love her so much. It's still an ongoing legal case, so please understand I can't reveal any details. But something horrible happened almost 3 months ago. A man who we all trusted drugged Sarah and raped her. He even tucked her back into bed. She doesn't remember much, just that when she woke up she felt sore and there was some blood on her sheets. Mom was very worried and took her to the ER where they found his DNA. He was arrested and currently we're still in the process of sending him to prison for as long as possible. I despise him for doing this to her. I guess the one small blessing is that Sarah only has a vague memory of the actual assault since she was so out of it. Of course, she's still very traumatized, and we've had her in intensive therapy. I go to college a few states over, so it took me a little while to find a flight back to my hometown. I've decided to take a few months off from school so I can support Sarah in her recovery. I'm happy to do so, and I know she appreciates it. I've been by her side the whole time, and I actually haven't seen Mom too often. She's very busy working extra shifts and everything to support us. We've always struggled with money, not to mention some legal and medical bills that we've gotten stuck with. Plus, she's the one who's been filing all the paperwork and everything. I offered to get a job or do some paperwork to help her out, but she said she wants my only focus to be by Sarah's side. A few days ago, I was shocked when she sat Sarah and I down to say that Sarah is pregnant. We were stunned and Sarah began to cry. I really wish Mom had talked with me so we could reveal the news as gently as possible. To my complete shock, Mom said that the baby is a blessing in disguise and that Sarah would make a fantastic mother. Sarah began to hyperventilate, so the conversation ended quickly. After I was able to call her and get her to sleep, I confronted Mom. She confessed that she has actually known Sarah is pregnant for a couple weeks now. They took a test in the hospital a little while ago when I was out for a day. Apparently, Mom noticed some early pregnancy symptoms. I have no idea why the hospital staff didn't inform Sarah herself. I'm planning to investigate why they didn't even give her the morning after pill or anything, because what the hell? I'm seriously considering filing a lawsuit because the way the hospital handled this doesn't feel right at all. I got upset and said a baby is the last thing Sarah needs right now. Mom wouldn't listen and just said we should listen to Sarah. We went back and forth for a while until I gave up and said we'd talk in the morning. The next morning, Sarah said she wanted to keep and raise the baby herself. I asked if she was sure. She ended up confessing that Mom had come into her room the previous night after I'd fallen asleep. She talked to her for a long time, talking about how nothing is more healing than a mother's love, and that babies are an adorable blessing. She also said how Sarah will be a fantastic mom, and that she would help her the entire time. Also that anyone who says otherwise is mocking her, and basically saying she could never be a good mother. She said when Sarah holds her child, any doubts will wash away. Sarah seemed very nervous, but said the way Mom is describing motherhood seems wonderful. I had no idea what to say. I tried to gently show my concern, but she got mad and said she's not a baby anymore. That it's cruel how I don't believe in her. I reassured her that I believed in her endlessly, and that I love her so much. That calmed her down, and we went about our day. Later, when Mom came home, we got into a pretty big argument. I demanded to know what she was thinking by doing this. It was jaw-dropping when she immediately confessed that this baby is her only chance at having a grandchild. I'm lesbian and Sarah will need to live with mom for the rest of her life. She went on to ramble about how she'd help Sarah with everything and was sure Sarah would love and bond with her child. The grandchild thing really pissed me off, and I raised my voice. Sarah has the mind of a child and doesn't truly understand the situation. Pregnancy would be really hard on her physically. Even if she did give birth, this is not a good place for a baby to raise. Mom yelled back before I snapped and screamed how Sarah is in no way capable of caring for this child, even with her own support. I was shocked when Sarah came out from the hallway. She wanted some water and overheard everything. She sobbed and said she can do this even if I don't support. She was angry at me for coddling her as well. She ran up the stairs and mom followed. I feel like Sarah isn't thinking clearly because mom pressured her into having and keeping this child. I love Sarah and regret hurting her. So, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing to lend my sister money and, quote, flaunting my wealth? I, 38, grew up with my sister, 34, and a single mom who passed when we were in our early 20s. We were dirt poor, and every day was a constant struggle. I resolved to work hard at school and try to make something better for myself. We grew up in a coastal town, and since going to the beach was free, I went there often and fell in love with marine life. I decided to become a marine biologist, and it's what I do today. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the highest up in my sector, and I certainly don't make millions, but I'm comfortable and have financial security. My husband has a good, steady job in teaching, and we've got a couple of kids, so all in all, I'm satisfied with my life and think mom would be proud. However, my sister is becoming a problem for us. In the past, she's asked us for money, and I've always gladly helped her out. She works as a hairstylist and definitely isn't in poverty as we were in our childhood. She has a lovely home and a nice husband, but she's become far more entitled over time in asking us for money, and it honestly pisses me off. She asks for considerable amounts of money without telling us what she needs it for. When I ask, she rolls her eyes and mutters something like it's not like you need it anyway. Another problem is how she acts in my home. She regularly makes passive-aggressive comments about our big empty house and asks how much certain pieces of furniture or ornaments cost. Recently, she told me she feels I'm too extravagant with my money and says I'm flaunting my wealth by having nice things. She said that it makes her jealous and prompts her to ask me for money. Frankly, the way she said it made me feel like she was blaming me, and I got really annoyed. Unsurprisingly, my sister asked for money in the same breath, and I refused. Since then, she hasn't said a word to me, but her husband keeps texting to say she's very upset. The extent to which he feels the same way as my sister is unknown to me. Was I right to put my foot down? Have I unknowingly been an asshole by showing off? Were there other ways I could have stayed on speaking terms with my sister, besides giving her money?